This next session is called stick handling. This is a big part of the game that you will enjoy with the players, and it's a lot of fun. You're really going to enjoy yourself. You're really going to interact with the players. As far as stick handling, you really get to get personal, enjoy yourself with the players. At the same time, be professional. All right, stick handling is you have a stick that handles the dice. Whenever you handle the dice, you're handling anywhere from 5, which is called a set of dice, or 2, which is the choice of dice that the shooter had picked. All right. As you know, this stick is not a toy. We're professionals at all times. We do not play around by touching the players with the stick, holding it behind you like so, because you can hit somebody with this stick, and that's not what we're all about. We're professionals, number one. All right. So when we use the stick, we're going to take it and we use it, and it's not actually a bamboo, but I heard it was, but it's some other, but I think it's in the bamboo family. And as you see, it's very, very flexible. All right, and you need that flex in order to handle your dice. When you're first starting out in the game, your stick will be on the layout with the bowl on top of the stick. All right, this is the come out roll. This is also part of a game where there aren't any players on the game, called a dead game. All right, being a dead game, you're waiting for a player to come up. When a player does approach the layout, he's either going to have checks with him or he's going to have cash and make a buy-in. Once that happens, this is where you're on stage, and this is where you come in and start. This is called the come out roll. And what do we do first? We take the bowl, we dump the dice out in front of us like this. We don't like this, it's not like this, it's just like this. You take it here and you dump it forward. It's not like this. You will dump it forward, you will take it back, you will put it up against the mirror flush. You don't want it out here so a die could get stuck behind here. We want it flush. All right? When I tell you to dump the bowl this way and not the other way, this is professional. All right? This is what you are all about. You will take the stick, you will grab it by the end. You will be moving the dice back and forth. You will be doing the come out roll song. We will be singing out here, coming out, crap 11, any 7. Sir, did you want anything up here? All right, C and E. Do you need a C and E? Crap 11, C and E, horn, world, high, low. What goes? All right. This is all proposition bets that you're selling right now. As you're selling, this person is taking his chips. He's going to prepare to make a bet on either the pass line or the don't pass line. Whichever one he chooses, we will then take our dice, we'll take the stick, and you push out the dice. And when you push out the dice, you push it out in 3 fashions. Straight up and down like I have it right here. All right? You can go 4 and 1, push them out that way, or you can go 3 and 2 and push them out that way. These are the 3 ways that you will offer the dice to the shooter. When you push it to him, I like to go in one line. All right. Again, you see the way I'm bending the stick. All right. I'm handling these here dice the way I want them, and I push them out. I have a straight line going. What I do is I get behind them. I push them all together. Now I can actually slide these dice to the players. You have to take in mind, though, when a game is going and you're only using 2 dice to shoot to the player, there might be obstruction of other bets that are on the game. You will maneuver the dice in the shortest distance to the player. And again, like I said, I could take them and I just slide them to them. Once that happens, and you see I have the stick in my right hand as I'm pushing the dice to the player. All right? Immediately, my eyes never leave these dice at all. The most important part of this gaming equipment are these dice. All right? What you want to do is you take the stick, you lift it up immediately to your shoulder. You do not rest it on your shoulder. You keep it erect next to you in your right hand because you're going to retrieve the dice again after he shoots them down to the opposite end of the wall. After you retrieve the dice back, all right, you wait for all bets to be paid. You're going to call the number, whatever the number is. You're going to make the stick call for it. Bring the dice back to the center. Stick is back. If you have any bets that you had up here that were losing bets, you will lay the stick down properly like this, not on the layout, but on the wood in front of you, and just and leaning up on the table. After that, you will clean up. You'll place the money either in the box man, or you might you can have working stacks over here where you can put losing bets. All right, like so. For example, you might have a short stack of red up here, or a short stack of white, or whatever color that you're using according to the table minimum. Okay, I'd like to show you how to push out the 5 dice and then retrieve 3 back. What we're doing is I'm going to put down all 5. I'm pushing them out in a straight line. All right, I push them out to the person. If you see, I lay my hand down on a layout because I have to retrieve these dice. As soon as I push out the set of dice, and what I said before, a set is 5, I am waiting for him to choose 2 dice out of the set of 5. So he takes 1, he takes 2. I put my hand on the stick. Reason why I put my hand on the stick, because I want to guide these dice right into my left hand. And I'm doing that only because I am not going to take my eyes off of these dice as he's ready to shoot. And if I keep my hand and use that guide, it's going to go right into my hand without me even looking at these here dice. Once I get there, I'm going to go back here. The stick will come back up erect. My eyes never leave the layout of these here dice. The other 3 extra dice are going to go right in the bowl. I go right to the middle over here, and I place them without looking down because my eyes will never leave these dice. All right? That is my solely strict responsibility of the integrity of this game here. Once that happens, I'm waiting for him to shoot. He will throw the dice down to the other end of the table. I will retrieve the dice again. I will bring them back. And once I bring them back over here this way, you see I'm changing hands. I will turn the stick in this fashion to bring the dice back to the center. All right, if would like to see that, we could do that in this roll. And the dice were shot. I have the stick in my right hand. I go down. Now when I bring these dice, if you see in this here layout, I will bring the dice all the way to this corner. I will keep out of the way of the base dealer. The dice always have the right of way. But I will keep out of his way because he has bets to attend to. After that, I bring it here. Here you can see either the logo or the no call bets. That's where I'm going to stop the dice. I'm going to change hands. I'm going to turn the stick back this way, bring it back into the center, and then change hands again because that's going to push the dice out again. Sometimes when you'll see as the stick person is calling the dice, he's making all the stick calls. That's why it's so important for you guys to learn when a number rolls what to say so the base dealers can act properly. There are obstructions. The obstructions are there are working stacks that the base dealers have in front of them. Sometimes the die or both die might be out of your sight. So what do? You have to say, call it, because you cannot make a full call there because you can't see the total of the dice. The base dealer, in turn, if it's behind one of his working stacks, he will, before he touches these dice, he will call the number, he will pick up the stack. This is a good example here too. I could use it this way. If this was behind over here as a dealer or over here as a base dealer, you would call the dice. I have a 2 here. If you can't see the other one, you only call one. If you could see both of them, you call the total of the dice. So let's say this total over here, he says call it. I say, as a base dealer, this is 5, 5. 5's the call. I will lift the stack so everyone can see it. I will then, with my hand, pick up the dice properly between 2 fingers, and I will place it in front of the in front of the box person. That is a proper procedure when you cannot visually see the dice. That is the call. When the shooter is to your left, the stick will be in your right hand. And the shooter is to your right, the stick will be in your left hand. These positions ensure that you do not turn away from the game. Whenever you're pushing out these dice, I can't emphasize anymore that these are the most important equipment on this here, because there are times that there's players in here that are skilled enough to change the dice on you. All right? So it is your responsibility to keep the integrity of this game. All right? In between the roll, as I showed before, the stick is held in an upright position. It will not be held back here in a lax fashion. Remember, number one, you're a professional. All right? Once the stick, after a number is called, whether it's the come out roll, you're selling all the prop bets, or after a point is established, you still continue to sell prop bets. All right? It might be on a hard way, and you might be telling the shooter, sir, you want to bet that 4-4? How about that hard 8? All right? These are continuous things because you're nonstop. You don't want to make the dice, the game that dull. You want to keep it exciting. All right? One more other point I'd like to bring out would be on the come out roll, after the dice are shot down to the opposite end of the wall, you will bring the dice back in. And if we could see this here, whatever number is rolled, we will flip the dice twice and put it on what they call the play side. I rolled a 9 over here, so I should be. I had the 9 that was rolled here, and it was a 5-4. So I flipped it over to the play side, which will come up to 3-2. This is something that you practice by. What they say is you square them up, you flip them twice, and then you split them. Why do we do that? Because this is for the box person to recognize that these are our dice that are on the game. He's also looking through the mirror on actual 2 sides of the die, all right? And he's looking to see at everything adds to 7 on the opposite side. So over here I'm showing a 1 and a 2, so I have to have a 5 and a 6, which I do, so we are okay. There's always security in this game, so we check, double check, and triple check. That's why we have 3 dealers, a box person, and a floor person that watches the game individually. As a stick person, again, enthusiastic, emotion, get involved with the players, engaging in conversation, keeping a good pace of the game is very, very important, because you don't want to wait for everybody to make every single bet and then move the dice. You want the players to keep up with you, not you keep up with the players. I just provided an overview of stick handling and stick rules. Please refer to your manual and thoroughly familiarize yourself with all the detailed stick responsibilities.